Have you ever made a dua so desperate and it brought tears to your eyes, and yet days, weeks, maybe months passed and nothing seemed to change? You started wondering, does Allah even hear me? But what if the problem isn't that He isn't listening? What if it's that you're not calling Him at the times when the heavens are most open? Because there are 4 unique times in every single day when Allah Himself promises to respond. And if you understand these moments, they can completely transform the way you connect with Him. Dua is not just words you say when you're in need. It's the most powerful connection between you and your Creator. It is the conversation that has no barrier, no limitation, and no requirement other than sincerity. Dua is not a ritual, it's a lifeline. It's the whisper of a heart that knows where true strength comes from. When you raise your hands and say, "Why Allah?" you are doing something extraordinary. You are acknowledging that despite all your efforts, despite all your plans, there's a power above all powers, a wisdom beyond all understanding. Dua is not a sign of weakness. It is the ultimate sign of faith. It's your way of saying, I can't do this alone, but I know the one who can. Think about it. Every single one of us goes through times when we feel helpless, hopeless, or unseen. You may have tried everything to fix your situation, but nothing seems to work. That's when dua becomes your strongest weapon. Because while the world may shut its doors, Allah never does. He listens not just to your words, but to the cries you don't say out loud, to the tears that fall in silence, to the thoughts that tremble in your heart. Dua is your soul's way of returning home. Your reminder that no matter how lost you feel, you're never truly alone. What makes dua so beautiful is that it's not limited by place, time, or language. You can whisper it in your car, cry it out in your room, or say it silently in your heart, and it still reaches the one who hears everything. You don't need to be perfect to make dua, you just need to be real. The sincerity in your voice is far more powerful than the perfection of your words. When you turn to Allah with genuine emotion, He listens. Not a single plea goes unheard, not a single tear goes unnoticed. Sometimes you think your dua hasn't been answered, but the truth is it was heard the very moment you said it. The response might take time, but the acceptance happens instantly. There's something incredible about the way dua works. You don't always get what you ask for. You get what's best for you. Sometimes Allah gives you exactly what you want. Sometimes He gives you something better. And sometimes He doesn't give you what you're asking for because He knows it would harm you more than help you. Every unanswered prayer is actually an answered one in disguise. Allah's timing is not like ours. His delay is never neglect, it's preparation. When you make dua, you're not just asking for something to change, you're changing yourself. Every sincere dua softens your heart, strengthens your patience, and deepens your faith. Dua also keeps you grounded in humility. It reminds you that no matter how intelligent, wealthy, or powerful you become, you're still in need of Allah's mercy. Every dua is an act of surrender, a declaration that you know who truly controls the outcome. When you realize this, your relationship with dua changes. You no longer make it out of desperation alone. You make it out of love and trust. You start to find peace in the act itself, knowing that every time you speak to Allah, He is listening, and that's enough. And here's something most people overlook. Even if Allah doesn't change your situation immediately, He changes you through your dua. He gives you calmness in chaos, clarity in confusion, and hope in hopelessness. Sometimes the greatest miracle is not that your circumstances shift, but that your heart does. You begin to carry patience, resilience, and peace that others can't understand. That's the hidden power of dua. It transforms your inner world before it transforms the outer one. So remember, dua is not a backup plan. It's the foundation of faith. It's not something you do only when you're desperate. It's something you do because you know who's in control. When you truly understand the meaning of dua, your entire outlook changes. You stop worrying about when and start trusting in who. And that trust, that complete surrender is where true strength begins. Because when you call upon Allah, you are not speaking into an empty sky. You are speaking to the one who said, "Call upon me and I will respond." That promise is eternal and it never fails. There are moments in life when timing changes everything. Moments when a single decision, a single action, or even a single prayer becomes the turning point that reshapes your destiny. The same is true for dua. While you can call upon Allah at any time, there are specific moments when the gates of heaven are open wider, when your words are carried higher, and when your heart's cries are met with a more merciful response. Timing matters, not because Allah is limited by time, but because He has honored certain times with special acceptance. These moments are gifts, windows of divine opportunity that allow you to connect to Him in the most intimate way. When you truly understand this, you begin to value dua differently. You realize that just as there are seasons for planting and harvesting, there are sacred times for asking and receiving. These are moments when Allah's mercy pours down like rain, and only those who raise their hands catch it. Think about it. Allah is always near, always listening. Yet He gives us certain hours of the day where the chance of acceptance becomes higher. Why? Because He wants us to be aware, to be intentional, and to come to Him with full consciousness of His presence. Imagine this: a servant who only calls upon Allah when things fall apart, versus a servant who knows when the doors of mercy are most open and prepares his heart before entering those moments. The difference between the two is not in who Allah listens to, because He listens to all, but in who listens to Him. Timing teaches you attentiveness. It's Allah's way of saying, "I am always near, but in these moments, I'm inviting you closer." There are times when your dua carries extra weight, times when the veil between you and your Lord becomes thinner, like the last third of the night when the world is asleep and the only sound is your voice whispering His name. Or those moments between Adhan and Iqamah, when angels fill the masjid and the atmosphere itself feels sacred. These are not coincidences. They are deliberate acts of divine mercy, opportunities gifted to those who seek. When you make dua during these special hours, you're not just following a rule, you're showing awareness of Allah's closeness. You're saying, "Ya Allah, I'm not just asking you randomly, I'm seeking you at the times you said you're closest." That awareness is love. It's respect. It's devotion. It's what transforms dua from a request into a relationship. It's no longer about getting something. It's about meeting the one who gives everything. And timing also teaches patience. Because even when you call upon Allah at those special moments, you might not see the result immediately. But that doesn't mean your dua was ignored. It means Allah, in His infinite wisdom, chose the perfect moment to respond. Just as there are moments to ask, there are moments to receive. And both are part of His plan. Your role is not to control when He answers. Your role is to trust that He will, in the best way and at the best time. Think about the rhythm of the day, dawn breaking through darkness, the sun rising, the calm of the afternoon, and the silence of the night. Each part of the day reflects a stage of the soul. And within that rhythm, Allah placed specific times of divine attention, as if to remind you that no matter where you are in life's journey, there's always a door open. Whether it's the dawn of new hope, the light of midday gratitude, or the darkness of night sorrow, there's always a time meant for you to return to Him. So, the next time you raise your hands in dua, don't just think about what you want. Think about when you're asking. Seek out those moments when the heavens are most open, when Allah's mercy descends with special intensity. Make those times sacred to you, because those who align their dua with divine timing are not just making a request. They are synchronizing their hearts with the rhythm of Allah's mercy. Dua is powerful at all times, but there are times when it carries wings, When you understand that, your relationship with dua deepens. You stop seeing it as an act of desperation and start seeing it as a moment of divine alignment. Allah doesn't need you to wait for these times. You need them to feel the beauty of closeness, the serenity of trust, and the peace that comes from knowing that at the right time, in the right moment, Allah will respond. Because His timing is never late. It's always perfect. There's something profoundly special about the quiet hours before dawn, that sacred time known as tahajjud. The world is asleep, streets are silent, and everything seems still. But in that stillness, something extraordinary happens. The gates of heaven open, and the Creator descends to the lowest heaven, calling out to His servants, who is asking me so that I may give him? Who is seeking forgiveness so that I may forgive him? This is not a story from the past. This happens every single night. Every time the world grows quiet and dark, Allah is there, waiting for hearts that are awake, souls that are yearning, and voices that whisper His name with sincerity. The last third of the night is not just a time, it's a divine invitation. It's a moment when your pain finds its place, when your tears carry meaning, and when your loneliness transforms into connection. You see, in the daylight, everyone's busy. You're surrounded by noise, distraction, and people who may not truly understand what's going on inside you. But in the deep of the night, when everything around you fades, only one voice remains, yours, and only one listener, Allah. That's why tahajjud is so powerful. It strips away everything unnecessary until it's just you and Him. There's no pretending, no performance, no perfect words, just truth. If you've ever cried on your prayer mat, wondering why things aren't changing, then know this: the night was made for those tears. That's when dua becomes real. That's when you stop just repeating words and start speaking from the heart. When you raise your hands at that hour, you're not simply asking for help. You're surrendering. You're saying, I've tried everything, and now I leave it all to you. And that moment of surrender is where miracles begin. Because the one who gets up for tahajjud is not just making dua. They're showing Allah that they care enough to wake up when the world sleeps. And Allah never ignores that level of effort. The beauty of this time is that even though it's quiet, it's full of movement, angels descending, prayers rising, destinies being written and rewritten. Every dua you make then carries a special weight, a special nearness. If you could see what happens in the unseen world at that hour, you would never sleep through it again. It's the time when hearts are healed, sins are erased, and burdens are lifted. Not because your circumstances instantly change, but because your heart does. You feel lighter, stronger, more peaceful. Even if nothing around you has shifted yet, that's the first sign your dua is working. And maybe you're thinking, I can't wake up for tahajjud every night. But understand this, even if you do it once a week or even once in a while, Allah sees it. He knows how hard it is to leave your bed, how tired you are, and yet how much you want to be closer to Him. That struggle itself is beloved to Him. Every small effort to stand before Him in those hours brings immense reward. And when you make dua at that time, it doesn't matter how broken or confused you feel. Your words reach a Lord who already knows every unspoken thought inside you. The beauty of the last third of the night is that it's not about perfection, it's about sincerity. You don't need long prayers or fancy Arabic. You just need a heart that's honest. Say what you feel, cry if you must. Even if all you can whisper is, help me, that's enough. Sometimes the simplest does bring the deepest answers. And even when your dua isn't answered the way you expect, something always happens. Your faith deepens, your trust grows, your connection to Allah becomes unshakable. So the next time life feels too heavy, the next time you can't find peace no matter what you do, try waking up just a little earlier. Wash your face, pray 2 rakahs, and speak to your Lord before dawn. Don't worry about how much you say, worry about how sincere you are. Because that time isn't just for prayer, it's for healing. It's where broken hearts find comfort and restless souls find peace. And when you rise from the prayer mat, you'll carry with you a calmness that no one can explain. The calmness of someone who just spoke directly to the one who never turns anyone away. So never underestimate the power of that sacred time. You might think you're alone at 3 a.m., but in truth, you're standing before the Lord of the worlds, and He is listening not with distance, but with love. And in that stillness, as your lips move and your heart trembles, something unseen shifts. The world above hears your name, and your dua begins its journey toward acceptance. The fourth unique time when Allah responds to your dua is during the moment of sujood, when your forehead touches the ground and you are at your lowest physical point, yet spiritually at your highest. This position of humility is not just part of prayer, it is the heart of it. It's the moment when all masks fall away, when the soul surrenders completely, and when the connection between you and your Creator becomes pure, direct, and unfiltered. In sujood, your heart speaks louder than your words, and Allah listens in a way that words could never fully describe. Think about what's happening in that moment. You place the most honored part of your body, your face, on the lowest point of the earth, showing that nothing about you is too proud to bow before Him. It's the posture of ultimate humility, yet the position of ultimate honor. The Prophet Muhammad said, "The closest that a servant is to his Lord is when he is in prostration, so increase your supplications in it." That closeness isn't metaphorical, it's real. When you go down in sujood, the barriers between your heart and your Lord fall. That's why it's the perfect time to make dua. Because Allah is near and your heart is open. When you're in sujood, the world disappears. Your worries, your pain, your fear, they all fade for a moment. There's something almost indescribable about that instant. It's like time stands still. Your tears might fall, your lips might tremble, but what truly matters is that you're honest. You're not trying to sound perfect. You're just being real. And in that reality, in that raw honesty, you'll find that Allah responds. Sometimes not immediately, but in ways so precise and gentle that you realize later that every sujood you made was heard. Many people underestimate the power of dua in sujood. They rush through prayer eager to finish, forgetting that the best time to ask is while they're already the closest to the one who can answer. Imagine the mercy of a Lord who not only commands you to bow, but then tells you that in that bowing, He is nearest to you. It's like He's saying, "This is your moment. Pour your heart out to me. No matter how broken you feel, no matter how lost you think you are, when your forehead touches the ground, you are found again, because Allah never lets a heart in sujood go unheard." Sometimes when you're overwhelmed with grief or uncertainty, words won't even come out. That's okay. Your silence in sujood is still a dua. Your tears are still seen. Your breathing, your trembling hands, your aching chest, they all speak for you. The one who created your heart understands its language even when your lips stay still. He knows when your sujood is filled with desperation, and He knows when it's filled with gratitude. Both are precious. Both are accepted. If you've ever prayed and felt that life didn't change afterward, remember this: every sujood you make leaves a mark, not on the ground, but on your soul. It cleanses something unseen. It strengthens your patience, deepens your faith, and keeps your hope alive. Sometimes Allah doesn't answer your dua right away because He wants you to come back again, to bow again, to ask again, to feel His nearness again. Because through sujood, He's not just giving you what you want, He's giving you what you need: closeness, peace, and purpose. You can tell a lot about a person by the way they prostrate. When someone's heart truly bows, not just their body, it shows in their eyes, their tone, and their life. They walk lighter. They carry peace that others can sense. Because the one who has placed their head on the ground, for Allah cannot be defeated by the weight of this world. That's the secret power of sujood. It may look like you're lowering yourself, but spiritually you're being raised higher than you can imagine. So the next time you fall into sujood, don't just recite, feel it. Don't just bow, connect. Stay a little longer. Whisper your fears, your dreams, your gratitude. And if you can't find the words, just stay there, breathing in the peace that only comes when your soul is closest to its Lord. Because in that sacred moment, between the ground and the sky, between silence and surrender, your dua ascends. And the one who loves you more than anyone listens with infinite mercy. The fifth unique time when Allah responds to your dua is in the last third of the night, a time when the world is asleep and silence fills the air. It's that peaceful, sacred hour when distractions fade away, when even the noise of your thoughts becomes gentle. The night hides you from the world, but it opens you completely before your Creator. In that moment, when everything is still, Allah descends to the lowest heaven, calling out to His servants with infinite mercy, asking, "Is there anyone who is calling upon me so that I may answer him? Is there anyone who is asking of me so that I may give him? Is there anyone seeking my forgiveness so that I may forgive him?" This is not just a reminder, it's a direct invitation from your Lord to pour your heart out, to seek, to hope, and to reconnect. Think about it. When everyone else is asleep, when the streets are empty and the world is silent, Allah is waiting for you. He's not distant, not hidden, not unaware. He is near, listening and ready to respond. The last third of the night is not merely a time of prayer. It is a moment of divine attention, a time when the veil between you and His mercy feels thin. It's when you can whisper your pain without fear of judgment, cry your heart out without anyone watching, and ask for miracles knowing that the one who controls everything is listening directly to you. There's something deeply personal and emotional about praying at that hour. The world seems asleep, but your heart is awake, not for anything material, but for something eternal. The tears that fall in that silence are not tears of weakness. They are tears of connection, proof that your heart still beats with faith, still believes in hope, still trusts that Allah will make a way even when no one else can see one. Every tear that drops at that hour is counted, every word is heard, and every heartbeat that aches in remembrance is rewarded. Many people miss this moment because it requires sacrifice. To wake up when your bed is warm, when your body is tired, and when your soul wants rest. But for those who rise and whisper, "Where Allah?" in the stillness of the night, what they find is not exhaustion, it's peace. It's a serenity that cannot be found in daylight. It's as if the world stops spinning for a while just to let you speak, to let you breathe in mercy, and to let your heart rest in the presence of its Lord. This moment transforms you. It strengthens you in ways you might not even realize. When you begin to speak to Allah in the quiet of the night, your days start to change, your heart becomes lighter, your mind becomes clearer, and your faith becomes unshakable. The night prayer, tahajjud, isn't about asking for the world alone. It's about building a relationship. It's about saying, "Why Allah? I'm here, and I know you hear me." You might not see immediate answers, but the peace that fills your heart in those moments is already an answer. Sometimes Allah delays your response because He loves the sound of your voice when you call upon Him. And when the time is right, He gives you what you asked for, or something even better, in a way that only He can. There's a beauty in knowing that no matter what the world thinks of you, no matter how far you've gone or how broken you feel, you are still invited. Every night you are given another chance to return, not just to pray, but to heal. The door of the night is a door of mercy, and it's open every single night for those who seek Him sincerely. The blessings of this time are not limited to answered doors. They include tranquility, clarity, and the strength to face what tomorrow brings. So, if you feel that your life is heavy, If you feel that your prayers are unanswered, try this time. Wake up when the world sleeps. Stand, bow, and whisper your heart's desires. Speak your secrets, your fears, your dreams. Tell Allah what no one else knows. And when you finish, sit in silence. Feel the peace that settles in your chest. That peace is not ordinary. That is His response, His sign that He heard you, that He saw you, and that He will never leave you unheard. Because in the last third of the night, when no one else is there for you, He is. When no one else can understand what you're going through, He does. And when no one else can give you what you need, He can instantly, mercifully, and perfectly. So don't miss that time. It might be the moment when your life begins to change, when your heart finally finds its rest, and when your dua, whispered in the stillness of the night, reaches the heavens and returns to you as blessings beyond measure. The sixth and final unique time when Allah responds to your dua is during the last moments of Friday, the day of Jumu'ah. This is not an ordinary day. It is the most blessed day of the week, chosen by Allah Himself, a day when the gates of mercy are wide open and hearts that call upon Him with sincerity are never left unanswered. Among the many virtues of Friday, one of the greatest is the hour of acceptance, a special hidden moment when any dua made by a sincere believer is accepted without a doubt. The beauty lies in the mystery of it. No one knows exactly when that moment is. Some scholars say it's the last part of the day before Maghrib. Others say it's when the Imam sits between the khutbahs, and some say it's during the prayer itself. But the point is not just to find the hour. It's to fill the entire day with remembrance, with dua, with hope, so that whenever that sacred moment arrives, your heart is already ready to receive. Friday is not just another day off or a day for worldly routine. It's a divine opportunity. Imagine once every week you are given a day where Allah draws near to you, listens more attentively to your calls, and multiplies your rewards beyond measure. It's as if He is saying, "You've struggled all week, now come and talk to me. Tell me your worries, your pain, your needs." It's the day to clean your heart, renew your intentions, and refill your soul. From the moment the sun rises until it sets, the atmosphere of Friday carries a quiet power, a softness that touches even those who may not fully realize it. You might feel more at peace, more focused in prayer, more connected. That's not coincidence. That's mercy manifesting. And that final hour before sunset, it holds something extraordinary. The world begins to slow down. The noise fades. The light becomes golden, gentle, sacred. In that stillness, if you raise your hands and whisper your dua sincerely, it reaches the heavens faster than you can imagine. Because this time is not just about timing, it's about presence. It's about being aware that you are standing before the one who never breaks His promise. When you make dua at that moment, don't rush it. Don't just repeat words. Speak from your heart. Mention your dreams, your fears, your hopes, your mistakes. Let your tears fall if they must. Because every word you say in that hour could change the course of your life in ways you don't yet understand. The power of dua on Friday is not limited to what you ask for. It's in what it does to your heart. It strengthens your trust, your patience, and your sense of connection. Even if you don't see the result immediately, something within you changes. Your faith deepens. You feel lighter. And that inner peace is a sign that your dua was heard. Many people don't realize how much potential is hidden in these weekly hours. We chase miracles in big moments, but sometimes miracles are born in quiet prayers whispered on an ordinary Friday afternoon. This special hour is a reminder that Allah's mercy is ongoing, continuous, and close. It's not limited to great occasions or desperate times. It's woven into every week of your life. No matter how far you think you've drifted, Friday brings you back. It's His way of telling you, come closer. You still have time. The same hands that were raised in despair on Monday can be raised in hope on Friday. and the same heart that felt empty can be filled again. So make every Friday meaningful. Fill it with dhikr, with gratitude, with reflection, and especially with dua. Because you don't know which Friday will be the one when everything changes. It might be the day when you receive what you've been asking for years. It might be the day when your heart finally finds peace. Or it might be the day when your tears, seen only by Allah, become the reason He opens a new chapter in your life. When that hour comes, whenever it may be, and you choose to remember Him instead of being lost in the world, your dua doesn't just rise, it soars. And from that moment, your story begins to transform. Because Friday isn't just the end of the week. It's a weekly reminder, no matter how many days have passed, no matter what you faced, hope is never out of reach. The Lord who listens every Friday is the same Lord who has been waiting for you every day. And when you finally turn to Him with sincerity in that special hour, your dua may not just be answered, it may redefine your destiny forever. And when your dua is finally answered, you look back and realize, He was never silent. He was simply waiting for you to call at the perfect time.